It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your afternoon statewide forecast update. And we've gotten a little bit more sunshine out there this afternoon than we did this morning. We've got some breaks in the clouds that have started to form. However, still got some scattered showers, especially in the southwestern part of the state. Also have a few up there in the Tennessee Valley moving into Tennessee, and a few showers lingering around the coast, although we've had some heavier rain in spots down in the coastal part of the state, especially on the eastern side of that, near the Florida state line here earlier this morning. And there's still some heavy shower activity and a few storms there off the coast right now. So this little orange polygon right here, this is a marine warning, and this is for this cell over the Gulf, which has been spinning a little bit. So we've actually had a number of cells out in the Gulf today that have had a little bit of rotation showing up, and you can see that here when I switch over to the velocity product. So some of the inbound and outbound reds and greens near each other. So been looking to see if we could see any water spouts on the sky cams. Haven't seen any yet, haven't had any reports of that officially, but just something we've been watching. But a lot of this has been staying offshore right so far. And but there's been occasional cells that'll make it inland. And looking at the rain totals here over the past 12 hours, again, there have been some pretty significant rain totals, especially to the east. So again, you've gotten some areas that have been over a half inch along Fort Morgan and towards the Gulf Shores and getting into Orange Beach. But as you go further towards the east, you can really see where the heavier rain was earlier this morning. So you had close to 4 inches, and Lillian actually there right there along US 98. Received probably over 4 inches there. And then Jeff Jacobs in Orange Beach, one of our sky watchers, reported 2.77 inches since midnight. So it's been rainy in that part of Baldwin County. Elsewhere, it's just been mainly some showers, not nearly as much rain totals there. Looking at Orange Beach, again, we've been kind of scanning the skies with the SkyCam network, looking to see if we could pick up a water spout anywhere. So far, I don't think I've seen one, but still keeping it pointed out in that direction. The temperature is 78 degrees right now. We've still got a pretty good breeze out of the southeast around 19 miles per hour. Been doing the same thing at Gulf Shores as well. And again, have not really picked out anything with that, but it has been kind of cool to watch. And it's always just great to have these sky cams in place, and love to have these in the network. 78 degrees there as well. You can see the dew point pretty high up there. Is pretty good bit of humidity along the coast there with a dew point around 75 degrees. All right, as we take a look at Dozier moving further to the north, again, getting some breaks in the clouds. It's 83 degrees there, so in the places where we've seen a little bit more sunshine, started to warm into the mid or low to mid 80s in spots, and still with a little bit of a breeze around. Moving further towards the north, in Tuscaloosa at the University of Alabama, it's 82 degrees there, and you can see you've got a little bit of a breeze there as well. And all the way up to the state line at Ardmore at 74 degrees. There's been a few showers in Ardmore here and there this morning and later on this afternoon. And you can see the dew point 66 degrees. Look at our temperatures right now. Looks like we got 70s across some areas, especially up north. 79 degrees in Coleman, 78 in Hamilton. It's 81 in Birmingham, 82 in Selma. 86 degrees in Chatham. Looks like one of our warmer spots. We've also got that in Geneva and Dothan as well, and also looks like Monroeville as well. What we're watching for the rest of today and this week, spotty showers for the next couple of days. Again, the most significant rainfall has generally been right there along the coast. Expect that to be the case going forward, although you still could get in a heavy shower here and there over the next couple of days as a cold front begins to approach from the northwest. So drier, cooler air will be moving in by Friday behind that front, and then we're expecting a beautiful, more fall-like weekend as we head towards the weekend. So that's going to be pretty nice. Now, again, wind gusts, the wind has been pretty breezy the last couple of days, and so we still are getting wind gusts in the teens across a good portion of the state as we have this easterly and southeasterly flow, maybe a little bit higher gust up to the north, 21 miles per hour in Coleman, 19 in Huntsville, and then more kind of like mid-teens as you head further towards the south. But again, right there along the coast, it's still pretty breezy, around 23 miles per hour at Gulf Shores. With those breezy conditions, coastal alerts are still something we're keeping an eye on. We don't have our small craft advisory anymore. That was allowed to expire earlier this afternoon, but you still have the rip current statement moving from basically Panama City Beach all the way over to Dolphin Island. And so still until Wednesday morning at 6 a.m., you want to take it easy, try to not get out too far into the water because of those rip currents that are still going to be an issue for a couple more days. Here's Futurecast for the rest of this evening. A few scattered showers possible, especially along the south and kind of western part of the areas. Had some of these cells back in Mississippi starting to approach pretty close to the state line on the current radar. So some of those could try to edge their way into places like Choctaw County and Washington County near Chatham. We'll see, but that's lot of that should stay mostly to the west, as you can see here looking at the futurecast. Although as we get into tomorrow morning, we start to see some showers training up from south to north. And again, could see a few heavier showers in eastern Baldwin County, as well as it's possible moving up into Escambia County as possible as well. And again, a few scattered showers up in the Tennessee Valley. As we continue to move through tomorrow, we start to see evidence of that front beginning to come in from the northwest, a little bit better chance, an enhanced chance of some showers there along and ahead of that front. And then as we get into Wednesday, we start to see that front start to push in from the north, and again, a few scattered showers along it, but we're not seeing significant rainfall really with that. And looking at the outlook for the next couple of days as far as rainfall, you can see here right there along the coast, still could get a couple more inches of rain potentially, but elsewhere, closer to where that front's going to be coming in, you might get a quarter of an inch, might get a little bit more than that in a few spots under some heavier downpours. But a lot of the central part of the state is not going to get a whole lot, kind of caught between two areas where we might get a little bit more, and it's not great for some of these places that are in the worst of the drought, especially in the kind of the southwestern and south central part of the state. Here's your upper level pattern. So again, we'll be transitioning into more of an upper level trough once this cold front comes through as we get later in the week. So as we get in this northerly, northwesterly flow, that's going to help to bring in that cooler and drier air as we head into the late week into the weekend. So we can see that in our 7-day forecast. For the next couple of days, we're still going to be in the 80s and still see that a chance of a few showers. And again, especially on Tuesday for North Alabama and lingering into Wednesday with that front coming through. And then after that, things start to dry out. See sunny conditions, cooler afternoons, fairly cool mornings as well, down into the low to mid 50s. We could even see upper 40s in some of the cooler spots. And then looking at our South Alabama forecast, again, lingering rain chances for the rest of the day today. I still think we could still have a few around tomorrow as well, not as much though as today. And we're still going to be pretty warm for the next couple of days. Some places could be approaching 90 degrees still. And then as the front comes through, we'll start to back down a good bit and expect, again, some nicer afternoons and some fairly cool mornings as well in South Alabama. Well, that is your statewide forecast update for now. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.